Good Wednesday morning, everybody. Happy hump day to you. I'm super excited to be here with you today. I need to know, are you tapped into that joy this morning? If you are not, I invite you to stay tuned because we have an all new episode of Project Joy Live starting right now. Good morning, everybody. Are you feeling the joy today? That's what I need to know. If you are, let us know down in the comments. If you're not quite feeling it yet, let us know that too, so we can help raise your vibration this morning and get you on that plane of joy, knowing that you are the joy today. You are it. And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I'm thrilled to be with you for this triple shot of good vibes this beautiful Wednesday morning, April 17th. 2024. We're now past the middle of April. I will digress from saying my usual phrase about time because some of you have been with me a long time and we're not going to say it this morning. We're not going to say it. I am thinking it though. And with that, let's talk about what's coming up on the show today in the morning brew. Here we go. Yawning, stretching, getting that body moving as we start the day today. Even if you're in bed, I want you to just take a minute and just stretch your body, feel how good it feels to just have the power to stretch out a little bit. Sometimes the body doesn't cooperate for me when I get up in the morning and I try to think about, okay, I can at least try to move a little bit here. I can at least try to breathe differently or at least switch my mind a little bit and think a little bit in a different way. So that's what we're doing here on Project Joy Live this morning. Coming up on the show today, we have a moment for compassion with you. Thank you guys for sharing in this compassionate segment with me on this show. We've been having a lot of fun going over the some of the different teachings of American Buddhist Pema Chodron, the teachings in these compassion cards have been a lot of fun to go through. So thank you guys for such positive feedback about that. Then we have a very special guest on the show today. Arlene Gale is here with us this morning, and we're going to be talking about the joy of being alive. And let me tell you guys something. We talked for a couple of minutes before coming on the show today. I could have 950 shows with Arlene and never run out of things to talk about. So I am very excited about having her on the show today and diving into what's bringing her joy and even maybe what joy means to her. So we'll talk a little bit about that coming up. Then after the commercial break, we will have a couple announcements, which I'm super excited about, and then get into our birthdays as usual and what's coming up in the Breakthrough Show Network community today and tomorrow. We have some amazing things happening. So tune in for that. Miss Brittany is here this morning. Good morning, Miss Brittany. Happy Wednesday to you. She's always in that VIP seat, and we love it. Up in that front row. Miss Nancy is joining us this morning. Morning blessings, and easing the aches this morning. Sometimes are more challenging than others, right? Sometimes are more challenging than others, but we can find the joy in that we are the joy and we can stretch it out. We can still, have a moment with that. Then it eases it sometimes a little bit, but sometimes it's rough. And I'm with you guys on that for sure. Without further ado, you guys, let's get into our moment for compassion this morning. I have really been enjoying this segment for you guys. For to catch everybody up, if you haven't seen this segment before, so I had gone to a shop in ye old Mystic Village, Mystic, Connecticut, and they had these cards. They're not oracle cards or tarot cards or anything like that. They're just cards that have different lessons about compassion on them. Based on some of the teachings from Pema Chodron, who is an American Buddhist monk, and she's really incredible and has some beautiful things to say. And so we have been kind of going through these one by one and sharing how compassion ties into joy and all of that fun stuff. Today's card says three objects, three poisons, and three seeds of virtue. The three, and this is the commentary for this card. The three objects are friends, enemies, and neutrals. The three poisons are craving, aversion, and indifference. When you feel craving, you own it fully and wish that all beings could be free of it. When you feel aggression or indifference, you do the same. In this way, what usually causes suffering, what poisons us and others, becomes a seed of compassion and loving kindness, a seed of virtue. And so I think for me, this is really talking about recognizing some of the things within us that we like. I think for the most part, many of us are connected to all of the things within us, like, but we kind of have those thoughts of knowing when we're not feeling good about something that we're thinking or doing or feeling, and we think to ourselves, I want to shift that, I want to change that in my life. And so it's about, for me, getting into that space of awareness of going like, this thought, this pattern, this thing that I'm doing isn't a virtue for me. It's not something that's working out for me. And being careful to not pass that into other people. I think for me, one of the things that I have been thinking about a lot recently on my sort of quest for more compassion in my life is continuing that one thought that I've had over and over and over, which is, what must someone have had to experience in order to get to the space that they're at in this moment? Whether that's a thought, a belief, um, a pattern that they are participating in their lives, and then taking it a step further with this of sort of in that space of loving kindness. So, you know, many of you are familiar with the loving kindness meditation that we do so often, and going, may they be free of those things that they don't feel connected to anymore, and not projecting my own beliefs and thoughts onto them, but just keeping that open line of, may they be free from the things that they're experiencing in their lives that they feel are holding them back, that they don't feel connected with any longer, being free or being out of that space of bondage. So I kind of love that thought this morning, and I'm going to marinate more on this one tomorrow, and perhaps I will bring some more thoughts towards our moment of compassion on a Friday. Good morning, Miss Tawana's here this morning. Nancy's like, are you recouping well from yesterday's major blast? We had a beautiful meditation from Teresa Warren in our meditation space yesterday. If you have not visited our virtual community and checked out our amazing spaces in there, including our Tranquil Haven meditation space or studio, or however you want to call it, it is a whole vibe in there. And I'm so thankful that we have such a gifted guide like Teresa Warren from Spirit Sessions to lead us on these. I mean, all I can tell you is that it's like getting on a magic carpet and going on a trip with Teresa every single time we do these meditations. It was a beautiful trip to Egypt yesterday with Teresa in meditation. And so definitely check out some of the events coming up. You can visit the Breakthrough Show Network.club and check out the virtual community. It's open 24/7, and we have so many different spaces in there, from co-working spaces to a music lounge to a meditation space and all kinds of different things. which are a lot of fun, and it's more fun than the Zoom Hollywood Squares, which is what we will not be playing anymore, at least in our community. I love that perspective too, Tawana. Thank you. And Tawana's like, I'm exhausted and it's transformational at the both same time. So I love that. I love that. Listen, guys, I'm so excited about our guest today. She and I actually connected, I think, quite some time ago, and we reconnected recently about having her come on the show. And I said, well, I'd love to have you on the Breakthrough Show, which she's scheduled to be on in May. But I was like, she, as I said, we talked prior to the show and we could have 950 shows with just her and I. So I was like, let's have you on Project Joy as well, and see if we can bring some joy to the people. She has a lot of experience in planning, communication, team building, motivation, satisfaction in our lives, all of these different things. And she's had some life experience that I'm sure has had her have to practice and walk her talk some of the things that she teaches. So, without further ado, let's bring Arlene Gale onto the show. Morning, Arlene. Yay! She's here. You are muted, so let's start there.
Yay. Okay, I'm back.
Just a brief
uh,
moment, just a
yeah.
pause.
Well, don't you love it when you meet somebody and you just connect and you feel like you've known them for a long time and you can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and still never run out of things to talk about. So I
Yeah.
love that about us.
Yes, it's a good problem to have if it's a
Yes.
problem at all. So I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so to kick us off, Arlene, what is bringing you joy this very morning?
Oh gosh, I got out of bed this morning. It's a blessed day, and people think I'm being sarcastic when they say, "So how are you doing?" It's like, "Hey, it's a great day. I got out of bed this morning." And that's the way I start every day. That's what brings me joy. As long as I'm here, I got things to do, so let's do them.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And I think sometimes when I have said that in the past, it's not always been met with anything nice. They'll be like, "Well, there's more to life than that." Or isn't can't you find something else to be joyful about? There's more than just waking up, but sometimes when we are going through challenges in our lives, earlier we were talking about our bodies not always cooperating, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes that if we can start at least start there and go, thank God I woke up today.
Right. That's the start. It's better than waking up and going, "Oh God, it's another day." No, they're very different outlooks on life. And so yeah, I don't understand why people meet that with such, "Rah," but it's meant as a good thing. It's meant to be a joyful thing.
Right, absolutely. Well, let everybody know, Arlene, where you're joining us from in the world. And I know before the show you were talking about how you've been pondering what joy means to you. So I'd love for you to tell us about that too.
Oh, well, I am coming to you from beautiful North Texas. I think right now we're having winter this morning, but we're supposed to have spring this afternoon and maybe summer tonight. So, there's joy in that. You just have to dress in layers. That's all to meet the day. Um, so, what does joy mean to me? Well, and I have pondered this a lot because, for me, I try and be intentional about joy. So, what joy means to me is making choices. Being joy filled is a choice. Um, we all have it in us. It's the circumstances or events in our lives that bury that layer of joy so that some days you have to dig deeper to get to it, but it's there, it's within us. So, no matter the circumstance, trying to not focus on the pain or not focus on the ugliness or the hate or whatever else is going on in the world around you, to focus on sometimes you got to focus on digging deep and finding that joy. I'm not going to lie to you, every day is not easy, but every day is better if I can reach for that joy and just choose to focus there.
Right. Right. And we talked about before the show how much, joy is your choice was our theme here for like the first 5, 4 seasons of Project Joy, about it being your choice to just tap into it. But I know one of the things that you talk about in your work, Arlene, is motivation. And sometimes we don't always feel necessarily the motivation for the things we know we quote unquote should do, like tap into the joy. And so how does one, if you're not feeling like you can tap into the joy, how does one find the motivation for it?
Well, I speak a lot about motivation. That's my thing.
Mm.
And motivation is energy. It's the energy that drives your passions. So there, we are motivated, but we can also be demotivated.
Mm.
So and our motivation changes based again on our life circumstances, situations, stressors. To be motivated by something means to have energy for something. So we're not going to have motivation or energy for everything that we need to do sometimes, or that other people ask of us. So, for example, I'm not motivated, especially dressed like this with full makeup and everything, to go out and sit on the lawnmower and ride that around. It just doesn't give me any energy for
Mm.
now. Does it have to be done? Well, yeah, probably, but I will do it when I have the energy to do it. Do you
Mm.
have the energy to go out and clean out your garage right now? No,
Never.
never. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why it hasn't ever been done.
I'm just gonna be straight with you guys here, okay?
Right. Right. I mean, yeah,
Ever
but
have the motivation for cleaning.
right. But, I had the motivation to get up this morning and focus on joy. What brings me joy? And for me, what brings me joy is my family. I love my family. When I'm having a difficult time, I can reach out to somebody in my family or my friends. I'm blessed with a great group of friends. When we're not feeling it, personally inside us, it's there. Sometimes it might take somebody to help us dig that to that layer. So don't ever hesitate to reach out when you're not feeling the energy, when you're not motivated to do the things that we know we need to do.
Mm. Would you say then that lack of motivation for something is a good opportunity for us to check in and ask ourselves who and what are we surrounding ourselves with?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, like with a car, when you drive, the more you drive, the more gasoline you use. And that fuel is diminished as we're doing things. So in our lives, if we're doing things and they're diminishing our fuel, that's to be expected. But what in your life will refuel you? If you've got people or situations, circumstances that are sucking the energy out of you, but not giving you anything back, it may be time to assess whether that's something that really needs to be in our lives.
Right.
And that energy suck is not just circumstances, work, whatever. People too. There are people out there that can suck us dry. And if so, then we need to set up boundaries on how to prevent that from happening. It's an energy give and take. It's a use and refuel.
Right. Right. Now I want to ask you really quickly because you've worked in a world of like building teams, retaining employees, increasing customer satisfaction, things along those lines that seem very like corporate for
Mhm.
lack of a better word.
Right.
And then you get into some of these things that you're talking about of like motivation and tapping into energy and things like that that are more like what we call swimming in the woo pool. If
Woo
you
woo.
will. And so how have you been able to find the joy and kind of like maybe meshing those worlds?
Oh, I am a good straddler. I straddle both worlds. I use my personal message and mess for teaching in the corporate world, but I also use it in a personal setting, because at my age, I've been through stuff, stuff that has sucked out the joy. So I've had to refocus. But the thing is whether you're talking about personal development or professional development, we're all just people. You
Mhm.
can't build a team if you're only motivated on getting the task done, because that demotivates people. If you're focused on the task and the goal, but you forget about the people, things don't, there's going to be bumps and potholes in that road. So, really, while professional and personal development seem like two very different things, the people are at the heart of both of those things. That's what motivates me, is to help refocus people, to readjust their mindsets, that we're all people in both situations, just trying to do the best that we can do. And the more we understand each other, the more we communicate, the more we understand the different motivators, the better and easier our lives, all of our lives, are going to be. The more joy
Absolutely.
filled they're going to be.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you said something there that was so good about what you cannot focus if you're not focused on the people, if you're focused on just building, the things that don't matter as much as the people do. And Brittany goes, "Where's your bell?" I don't have my bell this morning. However,
Oh,
she deserves the hype. That's what we we have for Arlene this morning. I love that though. Oh my gosh. And I listen, I'm so excited. You mentioned having been through stuff, and which we're gonna dig into when you're on the breakthrough show. Put it in your calendars right now. Friday, May 31st. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Arlene is going to be a guest on the Breakthrough Show, and we're going to dive into some of this stuff that she has been through. Do you want to give everybody maybe just a little, like, when you say stuff, what do you mean, Arlene?
Oh, well, there's the normal day-to-day stuff, raising children and trying to survive grocery stores and stuff like that. But I'll give you the quick version. Everybody went back into the world after COVID, right? Yay. Not me. I had 4 surgeries in 8 months for a brain aneurysm. Then everything seemed to be going well, so they took me off the medicine, and I had a stroke on Christmas Day, no less. I remember very little about it other than looking up at the terrified looks on my family's faces. We got past that. Everything was going well. I went in for a routine mammogram, and guess what? Breast cancer. Yay. So yeah, that wasn't my initial reaction to the phone call. It was like, what? Not possible. That's not right. Anyway, and then there were complications and treatments that came after this breast cancer surgery. But I'm happy to report that it's been almost 2 years. And as of last week, my report was cancer free. So yeah.
Love that. Love that. And I'm excited to get into all of this. And you know what really brings me joy right now is that we are able to have people like yourself, Arlene, on this show who nobody knows. I mean, listen, unless somebody knows you personally, we don't know what you've been through before, but you come on with a smile of your face, the ability to be able to find the joy, and then you go, "Oh, and by the way, you just would never know because you are walking your talk. You are purposely saying, I am going to choose joy today." And I just appreciate that so much,
Right.
Arlene, and you sharing that with our audience this
Well,
morning.
thank you. And I don't want your audience to get me wrong. It wasn't always easy.
Yeah.
There wasn't
Yeah.
always a smile. There were lots of tears, but through that, I could look into my husband or my children's faces and see the love when they took care of me. And when I focus on that, that brings me joy. And when I focus on that, that diminishes the pain. That's
Right.
my strategy.
I love it. I love it. Arlene, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was such a joy to have you here today.
Thank you very much. This was great. I hope people will take a chance to connect with me. Go to arlenegale.com/let's connect. I love
Love
this
it.
and I love what you're doing. I appreciate the opportunity so much.
Thank you so much. And like I said, guys, you can check Arlene out again on May 31st, 2024 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Breakthrough Show Network here. And thank you again, Arlene. Make sure you visit arlenegale.com, and we'll be back right after the break.
Thank you.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It is Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. I'm so excited to have you here with us this morning on this beautiful day. The weather here in southeastern Connecticut has been just showing out lately. Mother Nature is showing us a really good time, and I appreciate it because we had some rough ones there for a little bit, but it has been absolutely stunning out the last couple of days, and really a joy just to be outside and in nature, which some of that is what we're going to be talking about when Arlene is on the show on May 31st as well. So make sure you tune in for that. Thank you again to Arlene Gale for being here today. I really appreciate you and all of the joy that you've come to the show with, and you're bringing to the world in the work that you're doing. So really appreciate you. I am excited this morning because we have some amazing announcements that I want to share with you today. And that comes up in our new announcement segment. Here we go. Always something to celebrate here on Project Joy Live. A couple things that I want to share with you this morning. First, we may have mentioned, for those of you that are Beyond 2D fans, Farhan and I had a 4-part series. I don't know whose idea it was to start this for season 2, but here we are. We talked about grief for the first 4 parts of Beyond 2D, which was a fun time, but it was so necessary. And we had so many people chime in and say, like, um, comments that reminded us that people really do need a space to share about moving on with grief, as opposed to trying to ignore it, or some of the other fun thing, or drowning in it that we do sometimes when it comes to grief. And so I'm very excited because we are going to be hosting a beautiful workshop, Farhan and I, coming up on May 11th, which I'm thrilled about. And it's called Grief and Circle of Compassion. So grief and comes from what we talked about in the series of moving on, like I said, with grief, kind of navigating life as those waves hit us. I shared in the comments of the episode this morning that you can go to our events page. Also, you will see there right now we have a poetry workshop coming up. We have another poetry reading coming up. Pretty soon, Teresa's meditations will be added there, as well as Brittany's craft circles. So I would love for you guys to go and get registered for those things so that we can plan for how many seats we need in our space. And you can do that at the link shared below, and you just click on it and go wherever you see it in the comments. So that is one of our fun announcements this morning. Also, I have some fun things to share. Many of you guys may not know that we have a merch shop for the Breakthrough Show Network, which you can always go and check out at any time. I'm going to share my screen with you really quickly because we have a couple really fun things. First of all, long awaited, we have our Beyond 2D mug in the shop, as well as any of the other mugs that you love from our different shows. We have Project Joy, we have Rewriting Reality, all of that fun stuff. We have all of There Will Be Hugs merch, which is based on Brittany and I's children's book that's coming out very soon, which we're very excited about the joys of friendship. And but we have a couple of new things we have a couple of reminder products, if you will. We have the I Am the Joy mug, reminding you that you are it. It's there. All you have to do is choose to tap into it. And there is also a necklace with the same saying on it and a bracelet with the same saying on it. So, really exciting. We also, because it is the change of seasons, and that's always a fun time. We also have a cute windbreaker from the Breakthrough Show Network in the shop as well. So go check that out. breakthrough-2-joy-store.creator-spring.com. You can go and check that out. Again, I will put it down in the comments for you guys. It is there. Nancy, is there any vegan gluten-free baked goods in there? I wish I could share my food with you guys, but sadly, I barely have the time to make them for ourselves over here. So, but thank you for asking, Nancy. I appreciate you. I wish I could share them all. So anyway, that's some of our announcements today. And with that, we have to get to our birthdays this morning. Here we go.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating today. In the world of celebrity, Jennifer Garner is 52 years old today. And she looks fantastic, man. I can't. Jennifer Garner is I really enjoy her as an actress. 13 going on 30, among how many other TV and movies she's done. Really enjoy her. Victoria Beckham, one of the Spice Girls, 50 years old today. Happy birthday, Victoria. Rapper Redman is 54 years old today. Everybody's in their 50s today. This is wild. Also, the celebrities in my life, Katie Williams has a birthday today, as well as an old school friend, Tracy Garrity, and my cousin, Miss Donna Green Riley, had a birthday yesterday. So happy birthday to you, my cousin. I hope you guys are set up to have an amazing day. And let's get our birthday song on. Here we go. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer Garner, Victoria Beckham, Redman, Katie Williams, Tracy Garrity, and Donna Green Riley. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those that are celebrating. I hope you are set up to have an amazing day. With that, let's talk about what's happening on the Breakthrough Show Network and within our community tonight and tomorrow and going into Friday. Why not? Let's All right. So we always have a lot of amazing things happening on the Breakthrough Show Network. Let's talk about that now. So we have coming up today, we have virtual co-working happening at 1:55 p.m. Eastern time, which is always a good time. All you have to do is bring yourself and your to-do list, and it is an incredible time. That is the wrong time on that graphic, so I will not put that up. But at any rate, you can come and join us. Bring yourself and your to-do list. We do everything Pomodoro style, which is a great way to plow through that to-do list, whether it's self-care, you have chores to do, you have schoolwork to do, you have work to do, you just want to read a good book and get through that. Just bring it with you and we'll be happy to celebrate you when you get those things accomplished that you really want to get done in your life. Check in at 1:55 p.m. Eastern time. Just go to the Breakthrough Show Network.club and we will join you there in our virtual co-working space. Coming up tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Brittany is hosting another amazing creative time in her craft circle. Again, the Breakthrough Show Network.club. Just bring your favorite craft and you can sit and have just bask in the creative energy. I think if I even came in and didn't bring a craft to do, I would be so inspired by what everybody else was doing. I would make my own craft. I would go build something or something like that, which is always fun. We also have coming up on Friday, we have another new episode of Project Joy Live, kicking off our brand new soundtrack of our live segment. Olivia Ambani is back on the show, everybody. We're so excited about that. She's going to be sharing about some of the music that brings her joy and is the soundtrack of her life. And maybe we'll find out if she has any new songs coming out as well, which is a great time. Then coming up on Friday, we also have a new episode of The Breakthrough Show with Rochelle Rayner. You guys saw her on the Project Joy Live on Monday. You're going to get more of her and her story about her journey back home coming up on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. It's amazing. I thank you so much for being here today. You have been always fabulous. Thank you to all of you who come and watch on the replay and all of that fun stuff and chiming in the comments. You are amazing. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day, and that you are the joy. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
And I've been lifting myself up, yeah, I've been climbing.